A tourist threw a snowball at a guard, confident in his immunity. But the hero's response stunned the crowd. What happened next? London. A winter morning. The snow-blanketed square in front of Buckingham Palace radiates the charm of a winter fairy tale. Tourists, bundled in warm scarves and coats, capture photos of the majestic palace. Cameras click, voices blend with the gentle winter breeze, and snow crunches underfoot. A crisp white line dusted with snow divides the secure guard zone from the crowd, a boundary not to be crossed. A guard stands out against this picturesque backdrop, a figure of discipline and tradition. He is a tall man of about 30, with fair skin and short chestnut hair. His red uniform with gold buttons gleams in the morning sun, and his bearskin hat lends an air of stateliness. His face is impassive, his gaze fixed in the distance, and his posture flawless. He embodies honor, tradition, and unwavering discipline, a symbol of steadfastness. In the crowd, Liam stands out, a 27-year-old man with ruddy cheeks, more likely from a few extra drinks than the cold. His light hair sticks out from beneath a crooked hat, and his bright blue jacket, marked by stains, reflects his carelessness. He wears jeans soaked with snow and scuffed boots that creak with every step. In his hand, he holds a snowball, slightly melting from the warmth of his palm. "Let's see just how unshakable he is," Liam exclaims loudly, drawing attention to himself. The crowd turns to him. Some laugh, finding his antics amusing. Younger tourists begin filming on their phones, while others disapprove. An elderly woman in a gray coat shakes her head and mutters, "This is unacceptable. The younger generation has no respect." Ignoring the judgment, Liam rolls another snowball in his hands. His movements are provocative, and the gleam in his eyes reveals his thrill at the attention. "Let's see what he does!" Liam shouts, raising his arm. The guard remains motionless, but a subtle shift in his posture, tense shoulders, betrays that he's aware of the situation. The crowd holds its breath, sensing something significant is about to happen. Liam's snowball flies in slow motion, as if time itself wants to highlight the audacity of the act. It strikes the guard's uniform, leaving a wet stain on the pristine fabric. The crowd gasps. Someone whispers, "Seriously? That's just crossing the line." But Liam celebrates, throwing his arms up like a victor and laughing loudly. "I told you! He won't do anything!" "Really? Who acts like this? Is this a joke?" is the thought in every observer's mind. Liam doesn't stop. He prepares another snowball while the guard holds his stoic stance. But the atmosphere brims with tension, a feeling that something is about to change. London, a winter morning. The snow-dusted square in front of Buckingham Palace becomes a stage for an escalating conflict. The white line on the cobblestones, a symbol of the boundary between tradition and chaotic modernity, now takes center stage. The crowd, wrapped in scarves and coats, thickens around the scene, many holding up phones in anticipation of something extraordinary. The guard, a tall man of about 30, remains motionless. His posture is impeccable, his red uniform with gold buttons gleaming in the sunlight, and his bearskin hat accentuates his regal presence. His face is unreadable, his gaze focused ahead, but his tense shoulders hint that he is acutely aware of what's happening. Meanwhile, Liam, the 27-year-old with a flushed face from cold and alcohol, draws all eyes. His light hair sticks out from under a carelessly worn hat, his bright blue jacket dusted with snow, and his jeans soaked and dirty. In his hand, he holds another snowball, his smug smile and daring gaze practically screaming, "Look at me!" He throws the first snowball. It lands just inches from the guard's polished boots, and the crowd collectively gasps. "Now that's composure!" Liam shouts, waving his arm like a victorious athlete. "But let's see what happens next." The crowd reacts with mixed emotions. The younger audience laughs and records the scene, while an elderly woman in a gray coat shakes her head, muttering, "This has gone too far. What a disgrace." The guard remains unflinching, but those watching closely notice his shoulders tighten, his chin lift slightly, a silent signal. Enough! Unbothered by the growing unease among the onlookers, Liam throws another snowball. This time it strikes the guard's uniform, leaving a wet mark on the immaculate red fabric. "Come on, show some kind of reaction!" Liam yells, clearly pleased with himself. The crowd murmurs in disapproval. Respect the tradition. You're making a fool of yourself. But Liam only laughs louder, feeding off the attention. He takes a bold step over the white line, crossing the forbidden boundary. The crowd falls silent. The atmosphere shifts. Those who were laughing moments ago now whisper urgently, He's gone too far. Look at what he's doing. Liam stands just steps away from the guard, laughing and gesturing wildly. His voice rises above the murmurs. Come on, do something. You're just part of the show. Phones capture every moment, cameras focused on the guard. Everyone waits for his reaction, the tension in the air thick enough to cut with a knife. Snowfall over Buckingham Palace feels like a soft blanket of silence covering the square. But the quiet is deceiving. The crowd watches the audacious tourist who has crossed the line, both literally and morally. Liam, standing beyond the white boundary, holds a snowball in his hand, but his boldness is about to meet its end. The guard, the unyielding symbol of British resilience, breaks protocol. With a sharp, deliberate step forward, his posture remains impeccable, but his gaze locks directly onto Liam. It's not just a glance, it's a sentence, inescapable and final. The crowd collectively holds its breath. The guard speaks loudly and firmly. You have crossed the boundary. Leave the area immediately. Liam, the very picture of confidence moments earlier, freezes. The snowball in his hand melts faster than his fading smile. For a few seconds, he struggles for words. When he finally speaks, his voice is much softer than before. Hey, it's just a joke. I'm a tourist. I'm just having a little fun. The crowd murmurs. Some record the moment on their phones, while others shake their heads in disapproval. An elderly woman's voice rises above the whispers. Respect tradition instead of embarrassing yourself. Liam tries to reclaim his confidence. Straightening up, he extends the snowball as if he's about to do something else. But then, a security officer appears. A tall man in his 40s, with short dark hair and a no-nonsense demeanor. His black uniform with silver insignias radiates authority. The officer strides quickly toward Liam, stopping directly in front of him. His voice is low and commanding. You will be escorted out. Follow me immediately. The crowd begins to clap. Phones zoom in on Liam, capturing the rapid disappearance of his bravado. He tries to mumble a protest. Well, it was just a joke. I didn't mean any harm. But his words are drowned out by the applause. The security officer remains unwavering, and Liam, stripped of all arrogance, is forced to follow him toward the gates. The crowd comes alive with murmurs, laughter, and cheers. The elderly woman speaks again, her voice clear and triumphant. That's how you deal with people who don't understand respect. The guard returns to his post. His face is once again unreadable, as if nothing had happened. Yet in his silence, there is triumph. He defended the honor of his station and the traditions it represents without a single unnecessary word. The scene concludes with applause, but the true drama is just beginning. The video of the incident is already spreading across social media. Liam, who just moments ago had tried to be the hero of his own Snowball show, now shrinks under the piercing gaze of the security officer. The snow continues to fall gently over the square in front of Buckingham Palace, but the air is thick with tension, broken only by the murmurs of the crowd. The officer, a man in his 40s dressed in a black uniform adorned with silver insignias, holds Liam firmly by the elbow. His face is as resolute as someone who has dealt with such antics countless times and has no patience left for excuses. Liam flails his arms, trying to protest. Come on, it was just a joke. It wasn't anything serious. The crowd, which had laughed at his antics earlier, now unites in disapproval. An elderly woman in an elegant coat and a bright maroon scarf declares loudly, Good thing they're escorting him out. Everyone should respect tradition. Applause breaks out. Someone shouts, Well done, guard. Keep it up. But the guard himself, the tall man in the red uniform and bearskin hat, remains unmoving. He calmly watches as the officer leads Liam away from the square. His expression remains stoic, seemingly detached from the commotion. Then, with measured precision, he returns to his position. He adjusts his hat, his demeanor once again the perfect embodiment of British discipline. The tourists begin to disperse, but the day doesn't end as usual. People continue to talk about what they witnessed. "Did you get it on video? We have to upload this. It's unbelievable." The video of the incident quickly goes viral on social media. Within hours, clips showing the guards' unflinching response to the barrage of snowballs flood the internet. Comments pour in. "Now that's true composure. A lesson in respect for everyone. That guy should be ashamed. Respect the culture when you're a guest." The square returns to its typical bustle, but something feels different. Visitors now gaze at the guards with greater reverence. Even the boldest tourists seem to understand. Behind the stillness of these guards lies centuries of tradition and national pride. The story ends with a lasting image. The guard standing immovably against the backdrop of the snow-covered Buckingham Palace. His red uniform and upright stance contrast sharply with the white snow, symbolizing the strength of traditions that no joke or snowball can ever break.